Business Enterprise Input Committee, MBEIC, is a group of our certified minority business enterprise representatives who provide counsel to the Chicago MSDC Board of Directors and staff to ensure that programs and projects implemented by Chicago MSDC are relevant and supportive of minority business development. We advocate on behalf of current and future MBEs as the voice of the minority business community. The Outstanding Buyer Award is presented to buying or contracting executives who have strengthened minority firms through their commitment to minority purchasing and contracting.
Hi, I'm Nick Hamulak with JP Chase. I'm a sourcing director, and I am honored and so thankful to be selected as an outstanding buyer. We've spent a lot of time over the last 12 months developing our strategy and the execution of that strategy around increasing our presence with minority suppliers. I've taken a great deal of time and effort to make sure that was the forefront of my team's efforts this year and in previous years. When Jamie set out the target for us of $750 million across the supply chain with minority suppliers, both Black and Latinx businesses, the sourcing group went all in on that effort. And, a lot of my work is done in the Chicago area. So I had the pleasure of meeting some great suppliers out there and developing relationships and driving a lot of business there. It's gone incredibly well. Folks have performed above and beyond expectations, which I think is what you'd like to see. What's interesting for me is there's always been this issue with folks being brought to the table to participate, but never getting a chance to win because they were always in a catch-22. For companies our size, people would say, they can't scale. They can't provide the level of service or, hit the price points that we like to see. And so they would never win. And so we went a different route with my work. And we said, we're not going to allow that catch-22. We're going to help people scale. We're going to partner people. We're going to pick and place instead of 3 quotes and see what comes back. And the results have been outstanding, not just with an increase in spend with those businesses, but businesses are performing just as well as anybody else. So, it's worked really well. The service levels and the items being produced have been at the highest quality. We've been able to then introduce these folks to other people and expand their reach. And the program continues to grow. We're far exceeding the goals we set out in this program. And we're going to continue to expand, move into more cities, help more businesses. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it. I am forever grateful, and I look forward to many more years of great work together. Thank you.
I'm Todd Fiero-Randazzo. I oversee staff augmentation at McDonald's Corporation with a particular focus on IT staffing. I'm humbled and honored to have been nominated and selected for the Outstanding Buyer Contracting Executive Award from the MBEIC. Over the past 15 years, I've spent time as both a buyer and a supplier. I started my career in Buffalo, New York as an account coordinator for a mid-sized national staffing firm and transitioned into management for a national outsourced customer training and IT configuration program for our client, Xerox. Ursula Burns was Xerox CEO at the time, and their investment in diverse and minority partnerships became forefront. This is where my passion for diversity initiatives and utilization of diverse suppliers began. By utilizing the program as a diverse supplier, Xerox was able to secure large competitive bids with state agencies in Illinois, and several large hospital systems. I then transitioned to the buyer side of the house, running several staffing managed service programs on the West Coast in the pharma and tech spaces before relocating to my new home city of Chicago and joining McDonald's on the Global Workforce Solutions team. McDonald's makes diversity, equity, and inclusion front and center to the way it does business. We not only talk the talk, but we also walk the walk by using our influence and scale to accelerate meaningful and overdue societal change for employees, franchisees, suppliers, customers, and communities. A significant aspect of my role is overseeing the relationship with our staffing suppliers. We keep our supplier base small, and most of our staffing suppliers are minority-owned or diversity-certified businesses. Utilizing minority and diverse suppliers is an important part of our values. I regularly meet with our suppliers to review performance feedback and scorecard results. I allow time for candid, honest feedback from both sides. This is particularly useful when sharing successes and when we run into challenges to give fair opportunity for our suppliers to course correct if necessary. These actions allow our program to maintain a stable supplier base, and they have enabled a minority-owned business to be our top staffing supplier 5 of the last 8 quarters. Developing these strong relationships and encouraging open communication with our suppliers gives us the ability to contribute to the success of minority-owned business and receive exceptional support. This nomination reinforces the necessity and value of McDonald's approach to diversity suppliers. Thank you.
Hello, my name is John McCallum with Discover Financial Services. Thank you very much to the Minority Business Enterprise Input Committee for selecting me as one of the outstanding buyers of 2021. I am grateful to be recognized by an organization whose advocacy and support of minority-owned enterprises has led to thousands of partnerships with major buying organizations. To Michael Gaines, thank you. I truly appreciate that you thought of me for your nomination. It has been a pleasure working with CRS Group over the last 5 years. Your team's support of our staff augmentation program has been critical in the success of numerous strategic hiring plans that has produced key company initiatives and many valuable employees. I also want to thank Discover Financial Services, providing me an inclusive environment that promotes living our values every day and gives me the ability to work with many great women-owned, veteran-owned, and minority-owned enterprises. Supplier diversity creates a greater opportunity to partner with the best talent in the market. It makes you evaluate the status quo and build new relationships that are essential to your development inside and outside the office. It is a fundamental element that brings together valuable perspectives that drive innovation. Our efforts for diversity and inclusion is never finished, as we strive to get better every day. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the MBEIC and the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council for this award. I want to sincerely thank Charles Harrell, the CEO of the IT Architect Corporation, for the nomination and partnership as we work with the state of Illinois. I'm extremely honored to be receiving the Outstanding Buying Contracting Executives Award on behalf of our efforts and T-Mobile. T-Mobile is a values-driven company that believes in diversity, equity, and inclusion for our people, our customers, suppliers, and the communities we serve. T-Mobile for Business is the fastest growing segment of our business, which includes 5G, global networking, and innovative solutions to advance your businesses globally. Thank you again for this award.
Thank you for your commitment to diversity and inclusion.
Good morning. Hey, I want to thank everybody for being nominated and chosen for this award. It's really, really important to me as an individual, and it's even more important, I believe, to our company, which is Exelon. My name's Ed Jandasek. I am the Vice President of Supply Chain for Exelon Utilities, which encompasses utilities in 6 different states. And having the responsibility for strategic sourcing for Exelon, I believe in inclusive procurement. I, along with my team, can play a key role in supplier diversity, and I have responsibility to grow that DB&E program. I was taught a lot by one of my mentors, the late Emmett Vaughn, and I really try to emulate his same philosophy. I had worked with many different companies before I joined Exelon 19 years ago, and this was new. This was somewhat new to me, but Emmett taught me a lot about what it meant to go out and seek out potential and qualified diverse suppliers so that they too have fair and equal opportunities to compete for the businesses. We do believe that diversity, equity, and inclusion are core values for Exelon and core values for myself and my team. We believe in the inclusive culture. We look at all walks. We look at ethnic. We look at minorities, women, veteran-owned, LGBTQ, disabled. We just want to make sure that we are providing opportunities fairly across the organization. We also believe, and I believe, that access for diverse businesses to our tier 1 COCs and EOCs are critical. We can introduce them, we can match them up, but it's really the contractors of choice who will provide the education and the mentoring and the training. And that's a key focal point for growing our DBE program at Exelon. And I use the word program, but I really mean process, because there is no start and end point. It's an ongoing process. I remember when we started really starting to track and measure how well we were doing or not doing in this space, and we were in the single digits. And now, as I look back, I look at ComEd being over 40% of our spend is with diverse companies. Our Baltimore Gas and Electric companies at 41%. PECO and PHI are both, really ratcheting up their numbers as well. And it just goes to show you that we have the total buy-in from everybody in the organization. It's not me, it's me, it's my team, it's Bridget Reedy, it's Dave O'Brien, it's the C-suite at Exelon down at Chase Tower. We believe that it reduces socio-economic inequality, and we do create stronger, stable communities in which we live and provide utility services to, and that's important to us. On behalf of Exelon and myself, I want to thank you for this award. I am deeply humbled, and I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you.
I am Kathy April Rush, and I am the Enterprise Lead for Supplier Diversity and Economic Inclusion for AMBE. When I was notified that I was the recipient of the Andrew C. Rasmussen Jr. Award from the Minority Business Enterprise Input Committee of the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council, I was utterly shocked and surprised, because when you go about the work of supplier diversity and you're focused and you have your head down, you don't think about those types of things. Supplier diversity and economic inclusion are important for so many obvious reasons, and then there are some others. We are still in 2021 racing towards equity and inclusion for all suppliers, whether you be minority-owned, veteran-owned, LGBT-owned, it doesn't matter. And being able to compete for those opportunities, having all the information you need to know to differentiate yourselves from the next supplier, these are all things that are still key and important in 2021. The reason why supplier diversity is so important to me is because I grew up in one of those underserved communities. And still today in 2021, we've got underserved people locally, nationally, even globally. And I remember walking past Mr. Jones' store and Mrs. Sally's store, and this is before I even knew what supplier diversity was or what a small business was. But I knew the importance that they had in our neighborhood. And then the one day walked by and Mr. Jones' store wasn't there anymore. That left an impression on me. I had been a recruiter for 15 years before my boss recommended I try supplier diversity out. And originally, I was hesitant because I didn't think, I've been a recruiter for all of these years. What in the world would I do with supplier diversity? But then it dawned on me that if I could do for minority business what I had done for individuals for 15 years, what a positive impact that would be. And so I'm so glad to work for a company, AbbVie, that believes in equality, equity, inclusion, and diversity. And they understand that without all of that, we are at a competitive disadvantage. One of the greatest fortunes I've had is to build the supplier diversity program from the ground up at AbbVie. And as a supplier diversity practitioner, you know that one of the things you need is a good partner. And we have found that in the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council. And not only does the council serve to consult with, but that matchmaking, not just the matchmaking that's scheduled for a couple hours annually, but that ability to understand our needs, the complexities of our business, and be able to guide and direct us to the right suppliers who can support biopharmaceuticals is a great thing. And so we have found a partner who really understands our business, and we are glad to be a long-term member of the CMSDC. My sincerest gratitude to the Minority Business Enterprise Input Committee of the CMSDC for this award. This is going to serve as great motivation to continue to do the work we do every day to ensure equitable opportunities for minority business. Our job is to be a navigator, spokesperson, public relations person, and salesperson for minority business. And I take that job very seriously. And trust me, this is just motivation to keep going. Thank you.
I'm Jackie Dias. I'm the president of Intercity Supply Company located in Chicago, Illinois. I am so humbled to be the recipient of the Minority Business Advocacy Award. The real reason for that is because it's part of my DNA to advocate for other minority businesses. I've been doing that for almost 30 years now. Prior to owning the business, I was advocating for minority businesses. I think it's an integral part of our community to ensure that we teach one and bring one up. So over the years, I've had the opportunity to work with colleagues who have become very successful as a result of their participation with the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council. I have seen them grow, create jobs, and create wealth in communities of color. I am so appreciative for this award because what it does for me is it supports what I do every day, and that is to help open doors for other minority suppliers. As a matter of fact, it has helped me become successful because I've been fortunate to partner with some of those other minority firms and to lean on them when I needed advice and counsel myself with my own business. And I also want to thank the Minority Business Enterprise Input Committee for allowing me to serve on behalf of the MBEs in the Chicagoland marketplace and the Chicago MSDC Board of Directors for giving me the opportunity to perform in a leadership role to help hone my own leadership skills. In this current landscape, where we're all dealing with addressing the issue of systemic racism and economic inequalities, I think it is more important than ever for me to be of service to the minority business community. Receiving this award just puts fuel in my fire to keep going. I will never stop. I can promise you that.